Hello! I'm running low on ideas, so I decided to do the usual. Take content that did well and recycle it. Oh, and Hypixel updated the game finally. And the testing server as well. Floor 7, as most of you might know, the admins decided to shake things up a little and broke one of the most fundamental laws of programming. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But hey, this gives me free content, at least. So who am I, and why am I qualified to teach you Floor 7? Well, I'm a monkey, and I make shitposts with occasional helpful tips and tricks. I have like 4 runs of the new Floor 7, although I never completed it. In phase 1, you will be versing Maxer instead of Necron. You will still need to grab the crystal located to his left and right, place him on the pressure plates and bring him over to the conveyor belt and stun him in order to do damage. How can you grab the crystals? You can use a Jerry machine gun to boost yourself up to the crystal. I ran out of mana. This method can be used by any class, but be conservative with the Jerry machine gun unless you're a mage. If you have a vendetta against Jerry, which some of you might do, the second method should make you feel a lot more at home. You can just use a Bonzo staff, use the lava to bounce up, jump and boost yourself with the Bonzo staff, grab the crystal midair, and collect your teammates' praise after your flawless circus act. Or you can just stay at the bottom and utilize your gaming. When you guys got both crystals, you just nuke Maxer. Here is where they change stuff. Miniclan must have been playing some League of Legends or sniffing glue and had a nightmare with Tryndamere, who you probably don't know as he wasn't in Arcane, killed him. Then thought to himself, if Maxer is angry enough, he can't die, right? So anyway, Maxer becomes enraged and just miraculously lives, forcing you to grab the crystals again, stun him, and kill him one more time, which causes him to pathetically fall over since adding an explosion was out of their budget. I would recommend assigning 2 players for the crystals. These 2 players will grab them when you enter the boss room, place them, and instantly go back up, ready to grab them again. The tank obviously positions himself on the conveyor belt and the 2 DPS stays near him to kill Maxer. By the way, the tank will most likely get knocked off from the conveyor belt, so the second part of Maxer's HP, a DPS can try to jingle bells Maxer to the laser. But honestly, the item is buggy, so don't rely on it too much. For phase 2, a hole opens up in the middle of the floor where you can enter the factory. By the way, you don't have a choice. Even if you don't jump and stay on top, you will be forcefully teleported down. This phase has been simplified a lot. You don't see people typing NPS, UPC, perp anymore. It feels like they've reduced the number of wither skeletons, so NPF, which originally meant no pre-fire, became kind of useless. UPC, which stood for up crush, is also useless since pistons start slightly lifted and are immediately pushed down. So unless you missed your first crush, you don't have to bother with anything like that. And finally, you don't go to the purple piston anymore. You will want to go and clear the yellow and green pads, but don't use them yet. Storm will appear and go to the middle. A countdown will begin, which you can all see in the middle of your screen. Once the countdown finished, he will strike everything with lightning, which one-shots you and the tank if you have one near you. To avoid being one-shot, just stand underneath a piston or wear a Bonzo mask and have your wither cloak on in case the Bonzo mask does something funny. I recommend 1 person standing at the pad with a Bonzo mask and 4 people standing below a piston, including the tank. Storm will make his way to you and then you can crush him. This is where the change comes in. You must crush Storm 2 times. This is why you are at the yellow and green, not the purple piston. Remember, you cleared both yellow and green pad. While the boss is being damaged, someone can rush to the other pad. Yellow if you kills on green, or green if you kills on yellow, and prepare to push down the piston. If you do this, you can avoid Storm going back to the top and doing another round of lightning. After successfully crushing him twice, you jump down to phase 3 through the red piston as per usual. The changes made in this area are rather annoying. There's no more skipping, so you don't have to worry about that. 5 members have to go from chamber 1, 2, 3, and 4, completing all terminals together. The changes are, this time not Necron but Golder is chasing you. There's TNT in the middle at some places, so watch out for that. And Golder will also throw swords at you which do true knockback, although there's a bug to avoid it. You can just equip a slime helmet and completely ignore his sword. There are 2 new terminals. There is one where you have to match all the glass panes to the same color. It doesn't matter which color you pick, they just all have to be the same color. And there is one where you have to time the block at a certain location, kind of like Melody. Both of these terminals are very simple and relatively straightforward. Finally, before you are allowed to enter phase 4, you must defeat Golder. You just want to shoot the living hell out of him. And don't worry about his knockback, you can just avoid it by jumping into the lava and bouncing up and down, although this will make aiming harder. In the final phase, fortunately, not much has changed for Floor 7. They made a new entrance for it where you are dropped into the lava, and then Necron comes to you. You beat him up a little, they took away his animation of going to the middle, instead he just blinds you and not teleport. And if you deal enough damage, you can ignore everything else. Otherwise, he will copy Golder and throw swords at you, or copy a tier 4 Enderman and spin around like a complete moron. There's also a 5th part for M7, but let's be real, the endgame community is unbelievably toxic, so no one will party you unless you cheat, pay, or rat people. But hey, apparently handle chances are a lot higher now, which should explain why my net worth is dropping quicker than my self-esteem. So good luck farming floor 7. Bye.